The TMR gang is about to go live online. Catch the video stream of the hottest and most awarded morning program on Philippine FM radio. The Morning Rush. Straight from the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, or twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Time to have fun with hosts Chico, Markki, Rica, and Hazel. Join the TMR gang now. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Monster RX93.1. It's time for the top 10, and we are also live on Facebook.com/RX931. How come I can't hear myself? Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, what's happening with my vibe?
Hey.
It's time for the top 10.
Yes, it is. All right, so first batch. Let's jump into it. Let's thank, of course, our topic sender, Star Marjorie. Hashtag Akala Nila, pero ang totoo. Let's start off with Arch Aguilar. Akala nila ayaw ko ng traveling. Pero ang totoo, gusto ko naman talaga. Ayoko lang ng templo. So if your version of traveling is going to temples, then pass.
Bye.
Forget about it.
See ya.
Forget about it.
There's also di ba, like shopping, traveling, like they travel to shop.
Yeah. Call me if that's the plan.
If that's
so
your thing. Right? Di ba meron ganun talaga na parang you travel not to sightsee, not to go to touristy spots, but to go to malls and to shop. Stores.
For me, my favorite part is just familiarizing myself with a local neighborhood and just acting like a local, eating in restaurants and just walking around.
Not the touristy
shopping.
stuff.
On the way to different places. But that's, hindi talaga ako yung parang, let's go to this place so we can take a picture of ourselves in so-and-so mountain or whatever. Yung mga gano'n, hindi ko siya trip. Hindi ako yung parang, I travel to have yung mga, yun nga, the touristy photos na very, very common. I'm not so into that.
And, I remember the only time I went to Malaysia was when we had a cruise and we docked in Malaysia, but I only went to a mall and then that's it. So we went in the mall. Apparently, it's like a really huge mall in Malaysia. And then we didn't go out of the mall. After that, we rode a car. And then we went back to the ship. And then that's it. So the only time I went to Malaysia was to go to a mall. And I didn't even I didn't even step out to the road. Like sa lupa nila. I went
my gosh.
to the mall.
Pero alam mo, parang for example sa akin, I have been to Singapore countless times, but I have never once taken a photo with the Merlion. That's actually a thing. Diba? A lot of tourists go there to take photos. I've never even been to yung gardens by the, what's the garden? Gardens by the Beba? Or
I haven't been there. Yeah,
I haven't been there. Alam mo yung mga certain spots na parang I'm like, yeah, I've never been there, but I wala lang. Kasi nga, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
May ganyan din ako with Hong Kong. I've been there twice, pero I've only been to this one swimming pool kasi we had a competition. And then yun na yun. So I know that look, the whole neighborhood, pero the touristy parts, yeah, I've never been there.
Parang theme parks yung pinaka-fun na touristy thing to do.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely.
I would be down.
I remember we were in Penang in Malaysia. So we were at the mall or restaurant or something. And then they were like, okay, now we'll go to the beach. So I was like, oh, how many hours before we get there? And then they're like, no, we're crossing the street. I mean, hindi ko lang nakita. Like, para siyang Ross Boulevard. You just, like, this is like super city. As in city talaga, parang Manila.
Yeah.
Tapos pag cross mo ng street, hala, beach.
It's the beach.
So, it's the beach. So I was like,
It's
andyan lang
it's
pala.
the same with
Right?
It's the same with Dubai, I think, or Abu Dhabi. As in,
Oh
like, in the middle of the
yeah.
city, there's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
beach,
yeah.
and parked right beside the beach are like supercars, and they're just there.
Yep, yep, yep. And coming from Cyberway, akala nila magaling ako mambitin, pero ang totoo,
Ay nako. Ay
Ah, so
nako.
annoying.
like, we do this all the time. Pa kayo
All
na
the
sana.
time.
But we still fall for it.
You still fall for it. And coming from JR Keita, akala nila they know what I'm going through. Pero ang totoo, you'll never know until you go through it yourself. Totoo
True.
yan, There are certain things na parang, alam mo yung sometimes out of muscle memory, we say like, oh, I know how you feel. Yung parang minsan gusto mo, if you've never experienced this, I really doubt it. I doubt you know
You're
how I
not
feel.
gonna know exactly. You're not gonna know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, and even if let's say it's the same thing, kunyari, a loved one passed away, and somebody who has had a loved one pass away, I know we mean well when we say that, but sometimes it's like it doesn't really give them any comfort when you say stuff like I've been through the same thing. Parang just be there, and be the support that I need. You don't have to tell me that you've been through it. You understand how it feels. Yours was worse. I mean, that really means nothing to somebody who's grieving.
I remember
And
back in college, one of our teachers, yun yung, he said that that's like the best advice that he could give to parang feature reporters, writers.
okay,
Kasi there's this one time a classmate of mine wanted to do a feature on sex workers in the area. And then that's what he said. Then never ever say that I know how you feel. Because
yeah,
you
You
really
you
don't.
don't.
You really don't. So just be there to listen. And that's the best thing you could do.
Sometimes they just want friends. They want people to talk to because they sometimes don't have many people to have conversations with. There's one
actually
time
for
I
me, yeah, go. Sige,
there's
go.
one time I actually went to let's just say I joined a couple of friends and went to a girly bar when I was much younger, and I did have a conversation with one of them, and it turned out we were from the same cities in Bacolod. So we were talking. I'm like, so how did it? How's life? How are you doing? That was we just had like a fun conversation, and I guess sometimes that's what they're looking for as well. Just someone who doesn't look at them as non-human.
Yeah, true. And yung just going back to what we were saying about yung I know how you feel. Sometimes actually parang well, just avoid it na lang. Pero like I actually find it better if I hear somebody say, I can just imagine how you must be feeling. Because you're not saying that you know how you feel, but you can imagine the pain that you must be in. Because I don't know how you feel, so I can only imagine the kind of pain that you might be feeling.
Yeah,
And
but let's face it, we take it differently when it comes from people we actually do love. Like if it's, let's see, if your best friend tells you that, you're gonna be more forgiving, or not even
receptive,
forgiving, but
yeah,
you're gonna be more
receptive.
receptive to it. Pero if it comes from like an acquaintance na parang di mo naman ganun ka-close, tas ganun yung hirit, parang off, di ba?
Yeah.
Actually, yung very recently there was a death in the family, and my cousin was like had to post after na parang some things you just have to wait to be told, and you don't need to ask. Siguro ito yung mga yung mga like sometimes you post that somebody in your family passed away, and you can see it in the comments like anong kinamatay, gets yung parang like this is not, I mean, parang if I'm going to tell you, I would have told you already. So it's actually a very Pinoy thing that parang
Yeah.
we haven't really got, that it's actually rude to ask what somebody passed away from. Diba? Parang it's a common question that people immediate comment section pa ng Facebook.
Lalo na kung
parang,
di nila kilala yung namatay naman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alam mo yun?
exactly. Di ba? Parang, kasi you kind of understand it from like the immediate family. Di ba? From cousins, from aunties, from uncles. Pero you have a feeling na minsan parang, alam mo yung alam mong hindi sila talaga ganun ka-close. Tapos tinatanong mo, yung parang like, some things you have to wait for me to tell you. If I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you. If I
But it's
didn't
not.
tell you, then assume that you can't ask. Diba? It's a safe thing to
It's
assume that you
rude
shouldn't
to
ask.
ask. Yeah.
Coming from Angelo Sunshine, and again, this is very similar to that. Akala nila, pero ang totoo. Akala nila it's okay to say, pasalubong ha, but if you travel frequently and you're usually alone and you have limited luggage at wala naman silang naiambag sa buhay mo, sa totoo lang, mama mo pasalubong. Ba't kita bibigyan ng pasalubong? Very JC, di ba?
Yeah. Never.
Yung parang hindi kita papasalubungan and wag mo na rin akong pasalubungan kasi nga parang, I don't want to have that baggage of having to buy something for everybody. Yeah, I super get that. Tsaka sa akin parang don't ask for it. I mean, if somebody gives it to you, they'll give it to you. But if they don't, you shouldn't really say, oh, asan yung pasalubong ko? Galing kang States. Yung parang, why?
Yeah.
Why am I giving you pasalubong?
I know, when we're not close and then somebody says that to me, I just assume that they're joking. Or I laugh at it. For them to know that I hope you're joking. Because they're not that close.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. And coming from Shivana, akala nila, pero ang totoo, akala nila delinquent employee ako dahil palagi akong sinasabon ni boss sa office niya. Pero ang totoo, sinasabon ako. Tapos nire-rinse, tapos tinutuyo, tapos pinupulbuhan.
Ay, wow. Liguan portion.
Like literal sinabon ni boss. Okay. And coming from Kirth Uy, akala nila late ka lang. Pero ang totoo, first day mo na pala sa new company mo. Alam mo yung hindi ka nagpaalam? Grabe. Do people do that? Do people just like not go to work kasi meron silang ibang job? Oh my
and
gosh,
isn't it
that's
gonna
horrible.
go to your permanent record or something?
Yeah, it should. If it's
Like
corporate, it would.
file.
I was watching this podcast. This may isang girl na sabi niya she can never work in a corporate setting kasi the first job she had, she just took off and went on a vacation without notifying anyone because she didn't know that you actually need to do that.
Well,
Alam mo yung,
how would
she
you
thought na
not
pwede
know?
siyang mag-absent kung kailan niya gustong mag-absent. So, she got
Ano to,
fired.
college? College?
Right? And
skipping classes?
coming
Ganun.
from hello, kahit naman sa college, you can't skip classes just because you
Yeah.
want to. I mean, there's the ano tawag mo doon, yung mga allowed absences that you don't actually have to explain kasi it's allowed
Free
naman.
cut.
Di ba may ganun sa college? Yeah, free cut in college. Some schools have that, di ba, na okay, up to 2 to 3 pwede. You don't even have to explain why you didn't go to school. But you don't just disappear. And especially in a job, it goes to your, what's that form? 201 or something? What do they call it? Di ba
Yeah,
yung
may
sa
number
corporate
na
world
ganun.
meron ganon? Meron silang parang form na everything that you do with your employers, napupunta doon. It's like your
Oh no, I wanna
it's like
see my
your file.
201.
Ako
I wonder
din
what
eh.
it's
Diba?
at.
It's
201
there. It's
file.
really there.
Have you ever
Where do
gotten
we find that?
suspended?
201 file. No, I have not.
Have you ever
think
gotten a
so.
memo?
No, I
think
have
so.
not.
Oh man,
how
I've
does
I don't
done
think so.
both.
How does that work ba?
Crap.
Why am I not surprised?
You don't want to know, Markki. You don't want to
Why
know.
am I not
I wonder if it's on
surprised?
my record. I wonder if
Do
they
they just-
literally put it on my record.
Do they just send it to you or something?
The
They tell you
201?
I don't
usually,
know
diba?
eh.
I have no idea.
Who
I have no
holds
idea
your-
if you can even access it or if it's just the company's thing or parang yeah.
Progress report, ganon.
I wonder who keeps it. Diba? When you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The HR.
HR.
Yeah,
Weird.
HR.
CAR.
Okay. And hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
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 Okay, I lost you there.
We're back, I think.
Yes,
You're
we
frozen,
can hear
Chico.
you.
Chico's frozen.
Sige,
Hello?
while we're
Can you hear
waiting
me?
for hello.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Hello, hello,
Hello. Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
hello. Okay, okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Hello, hello.
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you. Chico, I'm
Okay,
gonna start
okay.
to
There you go.
sing.
We can hear you.
Okay. And the top, akala nila, pero ang totoo, comes from Tae Hyung Tay Tay and Legal Millennial.
They both say.
Tae Hyung Tay Tay says, akala nila, nahihilig ako sa bodybuilding. Pero ang totoo, nahihilig ako sa bodybuilders. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why you're there. It's part of
Oh,
it.
Part of the
that's why
fun.
you are sightseeing in the gym. And coming from Legal Millennial, akala nila may nagluluto ng paksiw na isda. Pero ang totoo, nag-workout lang ako at hindi pa ako nakaligo.
Oh no,
So,
that's a problem. Yeah, that ain't cute.
that is a problem. That is a problem. So there you go. Team Booth will be playing a couple of songs first, but we will stay on Facebook Live.
Who's assigned today?
Me.
Okay, aray. Teka lang. Lakas ng boses.
Okay, are you guys ready? Today, since everybody's been in a sing-songy mood anyway, that's what we're going to play.
Oh no.
Inspired by those
Oh no.
YouTube videos. Elba yung nagaganito. But anyway, or I don't remember which magazine. But yeah, I'm gonna give you words and you're gonna have to come up with a song that has that word in it, in the lyrics. So unahan. Okay? Are you ready? Can you hear Chico? Are you
Yes.
your connection fine? All right,
Sorta,
Rica.
sorta,
Weird.
Me,
kinda. Sorta,
Markki,
kinda.
unahan na. First word, little.
Little.
Little
You have to sing.
wait lang, wait lang.
Little.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I should have just played my own game.
Little star, how I wonder what
Oh
you
my
are.
god, 1 point, Chico.
I was gonna
I'm
say.
thinking of a pop song and I'm like, oh, what's a pop song?
"Oh, just a little bit
But
high,
Mary had a little
just a little bit
Oh,
lighter,
yan. Okay.
so much stronger.
So 1 point for Chico. Next
Higher.
word, hard.
Hard.
It's a hard knock life for us.
Ah,
It's a hard knock life for us.
I
One
like
all.
that
Chico
song.
Markki. Next word, body.
Touch
your
my
body.
body.
Sino na una? What were you singing, Rica?
Your body is a wonderland. Ako na lang. Para may point din.
1-1-1.
Thank you.
Yes.
Next word is gone.
Gone, going, gone. Give it down. Gone be the words, and they were gonna sing. Gone people.
Gusto ko yung kay John Cena.
Di ba?
Shake. Bari-bari.
Akala ko ngayon yung sasabihin ni Chico. I was baiting Chico.
Oh my God.
But you're frozen, Chico.
Shake.
You froze. You're frozen. You're
Chico,
frozen in
are you with
time
us?
without your touch.
Hala, si Chico.
Chico, baka naman.
Galaw-galaw. Konti.
Wait lang. I wonder kung, like, wala bang signal sa kanila? Is he using data?
Wait, that's actually a song. That song "Gone Going Gone" is actually a song.
Chico, there you are. Somebody
Okay,
said
okay.
on the comment section kanina for body, shake, body, body dancer daw. Sabi ko, I was hoping Chico would actually sing that. I was
Uy, touch my
baiting
body
Chico,
naman ako. Touch my body naman
but he
ako.
went Mariah Carey, so I have no problem with it. So what's the score? Markki 2, Chico Rica 1. Next word, open.
Open your heart to me.
Nauna si Chico. Grabe, Madonna. Madonna. Okay, 2 all, Chico, Markki, 1 Rica. Next word, train.
Leave the midnight train to Georgia.
Ay, oo nga.
Oh, tama. So 3, 2, 1 is the score. Next word, maybe.
Maybe there'll be no falling stars this time around.
You can let me.
Pwede ba ano na lang? Pwede ba mag-raise ng hand na lang? Kasi
Gusto ko yung si Chico. Baby. Talaga.
maybe.
Naku.
Maybe daw, baby. Maybe daw, baby.
Maybe.
Call me maybe.
Ano na score? 3, 3, 1?
Grabe, sabay-sabay kaya kami.
Yeah.
Yeah, ba't ako yung nawawala ng
Hindi ko kasi, narinig ko kasi yung maybe na nananapaw kasi si Chico eh. Siya yung
Bakit ba?
The first one was maybe also. Maybe this time.
Okay, next word. Easy.
I can't sing it.
Easy like Sunday morning. Oh my God.
Oy, tama. Good job.
God, galing. Good job.
Okay, next word.
Sasabi ko sana, A, B, E, C, D, F, G.
Next word. Dream.
Dream lover.
Dreams.
dream a
With your side of
dream.
things. Dreams of me and you. It seems.
Kami ni
it
Markki may
seems.
point.
I
Ay,
can't
Parang may
imagine
point din.
marrying.
Chico,
Oo,
kasi
kinanta ko rin kaya.
tama naman yung dream lover. Wala lang siya sa
Oo.
tono.
Wala lang sa tono.
Kaya, may
Pero gets ko naman.
I will make the first word dream para ano.
may point
Yung
din
dream
ako.
lover ko, katunog ng Touch My Body. Dream lover.
Ayun nga eh. Parang naging touch my body yung tono.
Naging Touch My Body.
Labo. Next word. Sweet.
Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama.
Daya naman kasi
Wow.
nito, singer kasi.
Wala. Ano yung dalawa?
Ano
Bokya.
lang.
Ay, ito naman nagre-reklamo pa sa mechanics. Patapos na yung game.
Alam mo yun, kung kaya natalo na siya, tsaka siya magre-reklamo.
Excuse me, hindi ako tama.
Alam mo, kanina pa tayo naglalaro dito. Papalitan pa ba natin yung mechanics?
Kasi may points dapat ako.
Away na. O, next word. Game.
Quit playing games with my
Oh,
heart.
wow.
Kala ko naiba na naman yung tono.
Alam mo, parang galit na galit si Chico pag may naiisip siya.
Oo nga.
Nagiging excited.
Ang papasaway daw ng mga contestant. Sabi ni Jay Ryan.
Next word. Remember.
Don't you remember?
Parang gusto mo umilag eh. Masasagasaan ka kasi.
Next word. When.
When manong ka.
When I'm gone.
Ako naman, when?
When I'm calling you.
Ano yun?
When?
What the hell's that?
It's a musical. It's a musical.
Next word. Blue.
I'm blue, abadi, abada.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone.
Okay. Last two words.
Okay. That's 2 words. That's one na
Secret.
lang.
Sige, secret.
Ang hirap.
Hoy,
alam
Chico, dapat alam mo yan.
Oo nga, yung kay Madonna. Secret.
Ano ba?
Yun.
Version mo.
Ako ba ito? Bakit parang iniba mo yung kanta ni Madonna altogether? Parang diba? Parang ibang artist.
Nakalimutan ko yung tono eh. Ba't ko nagkanta si Madonna?
Secret. Walang ganon.
Ooh, something coming over.
And walang nanalo. Sige,
Lahat talo.
ang natalo, tayong lahat.
Or earphones.
yung mga nakinig sa atin. Talong-talo.
Di ba may one last? Ano yung sabi mo 2 kanina?
Oo
Wait
nga,
lang.
sabi mo 2.
Sabi ni Rica last na.
Okay.
Okay, wait lang. Monster RX93.1. It's time for the final batch of the top 10. We are also live on Facebook.com/RX931. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Everybody.
We just played a game. In case you missed our TMR in between, you can catch it on Facebook later.
And yes, we did have a game and Nathaniel Trilliana summed it up best. Nanalo ang wala. Nanalo ang wala.
Parang song association or something.
Yes. And Jojo Legado says, ang natalo ay ang buong sambayanan.
Buong bayan.
Lahat ng nanood sa atin, talo. Ang walang kwentang laro. Okay, so here we go. Final batch, courtesy of Star Marjorie. Thank you. Akala nila, pero ang totoo. Let's start off with Rudes Antonio. Akala nila natutuwa ako sa below the belt jokes nila. Pero ang totoo, nakikiride na lang ako ng tawa para di masira ang masayang moment ng barkada.
Yeah, just like what we talked about earlier. Diba? Minsan kasi you're also thinking about them. But if it's below the belt, I think you kind of have to look out for yourself as well.
Yeah. It's just
This is
difficult
me
when you're with like
myself.
like especially when you're with super close friends. Alam mo naman na
Yeah.
talaga lang, that's how it is, and you kind of like, I'm frustrated, pero oh well, that's how it is. Pero like with
And
other
especially
people,
the world, yeah.
yeah, you're saying?
Especially like on the internet. People can just throw all of these comments kahit na below the belt because you really can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, like we were
Mm-mm.
just
Go ahead.
talking about it, Hazel and I in the booth. Parang there were these two drag queens, Na parang, di ba pag pag medyo sumikat ka na, you can come up with songs. So drag queen A asked drag queen B if she could use her name in her song. So being good friends, she's like, yeah, go, sige lang. Tapos when it came out, syempre, it was shady. You can you imagine, kunyari, I came up with the song, tapos todo sinade ko si Markki. So I told Markki na, can I use your name? And he's like, yeah, sure, of course. Tapos biglang, alam mo yung pagkadinig mo, you're like, wait a minute, that's a little harsh. Pero you gave your permission. Gets? Yung parang, it's a very tricky thing among friends. Kasi minsan, friends naman talaga kayo. And most of the time, like siguro 70-80%, lahat ng yung mga shade is really okay. Genuinely okay. But every now and then, and it happens to the best of friends, magkakaroon ng hirit na parang, wait a minute. Okay,
wait a minute. Or yung in that
that
case
wouldn't
nga
sit
ng
well
drag
with me.
queen, parang sabi niya, naisip niya lang yun when people started telling her na parang, uy, sinade ka? Anong-ano? Yung parang nagatungan siya. Nung narinig naman niya, okay lang siya. But then, because people kept telling her na parang she got red or she got shaded, parang gusto niya tuloy mag-retaliate. Pero okay lang talaga siya. It was no
Pero,
big deal.
diba, technically, dapat okay lang. Gets?
I know, I kind of agree with this. Erica says, if it's a racist or sexist line or joke, please say something. And I kind of agree, but also it's a practice. You know, it's not, I feel like it's not in every situation you can speak up. Kasi ako din parang sometimes I feel like I'm not in the position to speak up. But I do agree that you have to, especially in those lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Saka minsan daanin mo sa joke din. You know, sometimes kasi sometimes when you make it suddenly very serious, baka kasi parang, alam mo yun, yung masira yung, I don't know, the fun. So, baka uy, grabe naman to, racist yan, ha? You know, just to jar them a little bit, just so that you're still having fun, but at the same time, you got your message across.
Right. Mm-hmm. Or just tell them, parang, don't tell them na what they're doing is wrong necessarily. Parang, I'm not comfortable. Alam mo, I'm not comfortable with that. Hindi talaga ako sanay na ganyan yung usapan. 'Di ba? Parang you can just say that na para alam nila at least na around you not to do it.
I wonder kaya how like people would react kapag kunwari sila naman yung nagalit because you called them out. Pero they're still in the wrong.
It's to be expected. It's to be expected. Kasi sometimes naman, it's not that they're bad people. It's just that syempre parang napahiya ka lang. Like, sometimes you don't really mean to be sexist or you don't mean to be racist. Sometimes it's like we said, sometimes it's a habit. So pag na-call out ka, parang you just get defensive. It's not because you don't think they were right. It's more like napahiya ka lang. So sometimes they're just trying to save face. So give them time. Sometimes, you know, baka in the privacy of their own thoughts, they're like, pero actually, alam mo, tama naman siya eh. So maybe I shouldn't be so angry. So give people time din. Mahirap din kasi sometimes when you're too high-handed, ang hirap din. Kasi parang sometimes it's like, alam mo yun, yung parang, hoy, mali yan ha, huwag kang ganyan. Kasi sometimes binabalikan ka na, ba't ikaw
Feeling ko, diba? Feeling ko okay din na in the presence of other people, you kind of just quietly, medyo siguro not naman you go along with it, but you just, parang alam mo yun, parang, ganun ka na lang. And then, probably, once you're all home, you can text that person or send a direct message na, hey, you know what, just so you know, I was really uncomfortable earlier when you started talking about this and that, and yeah, I just wanted to let you know. Diba? Para at least,
ganun lang.
Para sa harap ng ibang friends.
Totoo. And coming from Patrick Starlord, akala nila hindi ako active sa social media, pero ang totoo, sobra kong active. Pero active yung mga alter accounts ko.
Okay.
Okay, gets. And from It's Me, Anne, kala nila nag-Starbucks ako, pero actually, pumunta ako doon, umupo ako dun sa isang sulok at nagtimpla ng 3-in-1.
Nag-Starbucks ka naman
Nag-Starbucks ka?
Oh. It's the same thing.
And from I'm Onig, akala nila masaya ang Labor Day. Pero ang totoo, masakit ang May 1. May 1.
May one.
I had to process it.
Diba?
May 1.
Yeah, I was going to make it a top entry. Kaya I thought, written, it's not the same as if it's read. Diba? You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Bakit masakit ang May 1?
May 1.
Yeah, until you hear it, that's when you're like, May 1.
Uy, baka may 1 ka ng FX.
Oo, ganun.
Listen mo! May 1 ka na.
Oo. And from Rudes Antonio, akala nila, tulog na ako. Pero ang totoo, nagtutulog-tulugan lang ako para makita ko ang mga ginagawa nila kapag hindi ako nakabantay. This is, I can imagine like a parent saying this. Alam mo yung pag kunyari nandyan yung boyfriend ng anak mo, kunyari tulog ka. Pero actually, minaman-manan mo na ano bang kalokohan ng ginagawa nito mamokong na to. Diba medyo, you're on the guard, making sure they don't do anything. And the top, akala nila, pero ang totoo, comes from Cyberway and the Super Malas guy.
They both say,
Cyberway says, akala nila, hindi ako naligo kahapon. Pero ang totoo, mali kayo. 1 linggo na.
oh, grabe, isa
We
linggo.
know.
Yes.
Oh, no! Grabe, 1 linggo. I remember, when I was younger, iba pa yung science na alam ng mga parents, 'di ba? Na dati if you got sick, parang you're not allowed to take a bath. You can only take a bath after you get well. So I remember when I was a kid, ganun talaga. So kunyari 1 linggo ako may sakit, 1 linggo akong hilamos
Oh my
lang.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Diba now? Kasi diba now, the science is you can, lalo na if you have a high fever, you can actually take a shower to
It's actually
parang-
good for you.
to lower the temperature, diba? So, but remember, there was a time talaga, ganun yung ano ng mga parents and grandparents na bawal kang malamigan, bawal kang mabasa. So, oh my gosh, those were horrible, horrible days. And from the Super Malas guy, akala nila best friends tayo. Pero ang totoo, magka-holding hands tayo sa ilalim ng mesa. That's kind of cute. Alam mo yung hindi
Yeah.
alam kasi hindi alam ng mga common friends nyo na that there's something going on. But you do these little secret things like holding hands under the table.
We had friends like that. They were actually a couple, but they were really good friends. They were like best friends for a while, and they didn't want to tell anyone. But one day, they were sitting with us or something, and they suddenly started holding hands on the table, and that's what started their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because initially they thought it was just a friendship, and then
Right.
when that happened, like parang it swiped, like the fingers swiped together, and then suddenly biglang nagka-holding hands na sila, and now they've been together for so long.
That's cute.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
they're
really
still
sweet.
together now. They've been
I
together.
do,
now
you know
since-
what? I do remember that holding hands was a big thing for me when I was little. Like literally, like prep, ganon, kinder. That I would have this one friend in the school bus, and whenever we would go in from the parking lot to the school, we would
Diba, parking
hold
lot na naman.
hands. And then we would hold hands. And then I remember at one point, bigla na lang nag-fade away yung holding hands phase namin. And I got a little sad. I remember.
And is that what led to you getting caught by the security guards?
And grabe, kinder pala.
Baka sinabihan mo siya na gusto mo siyang paliguan.
And I remember ko
Ganun pala yung ano, no?
Wala siyang security blanket ko. Na, alam mo yung kunwari, matanggal lang yung hand niya sa hand ko. I'm like, where are you? Where are you?
At saka yung pala lahat ng pag inano natin, kunyari parang inaral natin yung history ng buhay ni Rica. Lahat pala ng friends niya, ganun ang falling out. Kasi inaamin niya na gusto niyang
I took it
paliguan.
too far.
Pag inamin na niya na, alam mo, gusto kitang paliguan. Mas wala na. Hindi na, they fall
The
away.
beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end. And like, ano daw? Ano yung sasabihin ko? May ikikwento ko.
Are you okay?
Ay, memo plus gold.
Oh, ano yung ikikwento ko about holding hands? Okay. I got it. No, it's also a thing, not just with best friends, but it's also a thing with parents, like especially moms. Ang dami kong kilalang moms na the first time that their teenage sons don't want to hold their hands in public anymore, they feel so rejected. Alam mo yun, di ba pag bata yung mga anak nila, parang, syempre, holding hands kayo, di ba? You're in a mall, baka mawala. So, they're used to it. Tapos that first time in the mall, na hawakan nila yung, especially with the sons, kasi with the daughters, they don't mind. Pero yung hahawakan nila yung kamay, tapos biglang, yung i-release yung kamay na ganun slowly na parang, yung parang, I don't
that is
wanna,
so sad.
yung parang, I'm a big boy now. I don't really don't hold my hand anymore. It's embarrassing.
Oh.
Baka makita tayo ng friends ko. It's so sad.
That would suck. I mean, I don't even have a child, but alam mo yun, like my nephew, my godson, I remember kasi growing up, laging ako yung gusto nilang ka-holding hands when we go to the mall. Tapos, ang usual ko is, alam mo yung habang magka-holding hands kami while walking, at some point, yung bigla ko silang papatwirlin habang nakahawak sa hand ko. Oo, laging ganon. Yung may papaikot. Yeah, I do that all the time whenever we'd be at the mall. So, feeling ko buti na lang di ko pa naman na-experience yung binitawan yung hand ko and sinabihan ako ayaw na niya mag-holding hands. I would cry. I would be so sad.
I think so. And can you imagine for moms?
I know.
Siguro times 10. Kasi parang these are the kids that you raised from when they were little babies. Diba? So, yeah. So, what about us?
Ano ba?
I guess, akala ng mga directors bobo ako. Pero sometimes it's just my ADHD. So when I don't get the lines right, or I'm not in the right state of mind to focus, they'd usually say, ang bobo naman yan. And I'd be like, no, it's my ADHD. Like, I have a hard time focusing, functioning.
Like, I don't think I'm bobo, pero I'm the worst memorizer in the world.
But
I cannot memorize to save my life.
Trust me, I am terrible at memory. That's why I do a lot of theater, because in theater we have 4 months, but I'm very good at hard work. So if you give me a script 3 months in advance, I will sit down and read it, and I'll come into rehearsals without my book, drop script. The problem kasi sa TV and movies is that they give you the script on the day, 5 minutes before. How are you supposed to memorize those lines right away? I mean, there are people who have those memory geniuses who can memorize things so quickly, but there are some people who have a hard time. So maybe it's not for us, diba?
Tsaka like I remember I had a gig where I had to say the lines verbatim. That's the worst. Because I'm great with ad-libbing. Just tell me what I need to say, and then I'll say it. But if I need to say it the way you want me to say it, if I miss a word and I have to repeat it, it's so frustrating because I'm not good with like verbatim memorization na dapat eksakto. So difficult.
Yeah, Rona says, Markki, you're not bobo. You shouldn't use that. Yes, you shouldn't use that word. But the thing is, I have been called that. I've been called that multiple times by directors.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not okay. You shouldn't call people that.
Actually, any other word,
insult.
any other word for that means the same thing, you shouldn't really. Like whether it's stupid or the other words for it.
Kasi it's so general na parang, really, that's what you think of me? I'm deduced to that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vez, actually, it's interesting. I spoke to a few people from the States who shoot their movies and film their series. What happens is they actually have table readings before they go on set. They're given ample time to really memorize and get with the character. They have people to help them study their characters. They have acting coaches. Here, walang ganon.
You know what I found really interesting? there's this one video I saw na yung job niya was to check the continuity of
Yeah,
the series.
continuity,
Yeah, and I would love to have that because I would need to see all the episodes
details.
before everybody else, right? Wala lang. I just thought that's a cool job to have.
Yeah,
Just
Yung
speaking of
baso
ano,
nandito. Ganun. Anyway, go ahead.
like speaking of Marky, what Marky said about table readings. For me, it's one of my most favorite ever table reading scene. Did you see that? Yung when Kit Harington and Emilia Clarke first read the ending of Game of Thrones. So the moment they got to that part, they were reading it. The moment they got to that part, they stopped, because they looked at each other, and then they're like, "Tapos yung parang it was so genuine.
Ah.
They were like, am I really doing that to you?" Tapos parang it
oh
was so heartbreaking.
no, I
Try
love
to look
Emilia
for it.
Clarke.
Sobra. Like, it was unmistakable. The fondness that they have for their characters and for each other. Kasi talaga ganyan sila. Blah, 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 blah. Yung parang they looked at each other na, really, is that how it... And you know how like it was building up, right? Nobody knew how it was going to end. So when they finally found out, they found out while they were reading the script for the first time. So that was crazy. I just love that clip.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and also the thing about TV and movies here as well is that when people memorize their scripts, sometimes yeah they got it, yeah they memorized it really well, and they did their lines the best they could in the time they were given, but they could have done it so much better if they were given time. If they were given time to study the characters, study the lines, then they probably would have given it more justice. And I've heard this from a lot of other actors as well. They just don't speak out as much about it as much. But yeah, that's the reason why maybe some of the content here, as opposed to the content in Korea and in the States, which is it's so much like high level content, isn't getting to that same level.
Well, for me siguro akala nila most of the time, this is like an in general kind of thing. Akala nila wala akong opinion because I usually stay quiet. Pero ang totoo, I have a lot of opinions, but I keep them to myself. This is my
Or you tell your
usual.
co-hosts off the
Oh,
air.
That's why we have a Viber group.
Pwede rin, pwede. No, because diba, like usually, like especially in big settings, pag big groups, small groups pwede pa, pero big groups, I tend to not say much unless asked directly. Pero in general, I'm not the mabibo kind of guy in like big groups. I usually stay quiet. So you probably think either I'm not paying attention or I don't have much input, but most likely I do. I just am, weighing it. Should I say it or should I stay quiet?
Ako yung parang the entries we had before. Akala nila natutuwa ako, but really I'm offended. But really, it's because my first reaction to everything naman kasi is to laugh it off. Because I know that it's awkward and it's actually really offensive. So I would kind of chuckle maybe, and they would think that I was amazed or entertained by what they said. But really, I'm like, wait a minute. Did you just shade me, or that was offensive?
Yeah.
So most of the time, that's what happens to me. But yeah, I think we can all practice to be truthful sometimes. When you're offended by it or what they said was actually really wrong, speak up about it. That's a note to self for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Ako, akala nila super thirsty ko na basta borta, basta matanda, alam mo yun, yung basta yung idea nila of what I'm into. But na super may excite ako. Pero ang totoo kasi, hindi talaga ako, I'm not the type who, I mean, obviously, meron naman akong physical peg or yung type ko na itsura, diba? But people get it wrong most of the time. And also, just because someone looks the part doesn't mean I'm automatically gonna be into the person. I'm not like Chico.
Grabe talaga.
Not like
Alam mo yung inaano niya na pag niyo ko isha-shade tapos in the same breath ng shade siya ng co-host.
Shade.
Hindi naman, no, I don't find it shady. It's just that I find that people have the wrong idea. I mean, yeah, I'm a little freaky and I can get kinky, but it's not for everyone. You know what I mean? I save that for people that I really am into, and I'm not into just everyone. It's more
Yeah.
than a certain look, it's more
Yeah.
than age bracket. Well, hindi kasi yun yung that's not it for me.
Alam
The
mo,
bank
like,
account, yes.
Do you remember there was a time when people would just randomly tag you on Twitter? Like some regular old
Random.
guy
Random.
on the
Yeah.
street.
People
Tapos
still do it.
Hazel,
People still
oh.
do it. Yeah, people still do it. But yeah, you have to understand, I'm not the type who would buy, let's say, magazines with mga nakapasexy. Or I'm not the type who would attend an event where there are men parading around in their underwear. I mean, no shade against people who are into that. It's just not my thing.
At ano namang masama doon? Kung gusto mo lang naman makita.
Like
Ayan
Chico,
na,
diba?
ayan na.
Ay, kung interesado ka lang naman talaga sa magagandang underwear, and gusto mo lang naman makita kung anong mga
Yeah.
ocean underwear ngayon, at wala ka naman talagang
Wait. O sige, I'm not like Chico in that sense. Pero may mga bagay din naman na pareho kami ni Chico. Like, alam mo yon, yung pagmamahal kay Baby Whale. Pareho kami ni Chico doon. Oo.
Well, hindi
Okay,
naman
now
tayo
we
kailangan
know.
pare-pareho all the time, di ba?
Say your piece. Ito na. You have the floor. You have the floor.
Thank you for that wonderful question. Ay, nako.
All right. So is that it? That's everyone.
That's it.
for
Okay.
today.
Thank you guys for tuning
Thank
in and for
you.
joining us on Facebook Live. We're going to be back tomorrow. Another switcheroo. But have a great Thursday, everybody. And bye.